Gordon? Alright. So, like I said, I'm going to make a second video for you guys. The first video kind of got, screwed up. 70 minutes into doing something and YouTube kind of booted us off. But I got a solid 40 minutes of that. You guys didn't get to see much of me taking the heads off, but I pretty much did a quick rundown. So, to make this story short, I told you guys I was going to make a secondary video of pretty much everything you're going to need to swap it into a C1500 and costs, what it's going to cost price-wise. So, and a couple things are going to help you along the way. Alright, I'm going to make this video short because I have other things I'm going to do tonight. A couple things that are going to help you in any kind of build. Simple, cheap, Ziploc bag. Ziploc bag and a marker. Anytime you do a bolt off something, anything, instead of you, I can't tell you how many times mechanics and everything else walk around their shop and they're like, where did I put my stuff? Where's those bolts? Where's that? Where's this? Solves the problem. Put it in a bag, write what it is, where it goes. Simple. Okay. Tools. When it comes to the LS engines and LS platforms, everything is metric, not standard like usual. It's metric on these engines. You can ask GM, anybody else. Move, buddy. Move. Sorry, kids. You know how it is. I don't edit stuff. Pretty much everything's metric. Okay, so you have, this is pretty simple. Harbor Freight, $12. Goes from a 10 all the way up to a 19 millimeter. It's all color coded, so it's easy to remember which one's which. I always call the 10 the little pinky, because it is. And well, those 10s, they're like elves, man. They disappear. They just disappear. So here, you can play with that, buddy. I know you want to. Okay, so with that being said, another key thing you're gonna have to worry about is exhaust. So you can go to Jegs. I found the cheapest ones. Ryan, don't do that. Stop that. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Dad life. I found if you go to Jegs, you can get these headers right here. These are long tubes. I believe they're 1 7/8 or 1 5/8. I'll have to measure it, find out. I could do it with this tool, but I'm not going to do it right now because it's pointless. You can just look it up and see. They're made by a company called Schoenfeld. Pretty reputable name. Pretty good headers. I paid a little bit over 200, probably like 218 for these. They're swap headers. They are specifically made to swap a 5.3 into a 89 to 98, I think, Chevrolet Silverado. You cannot put these on the engine and put them in there. You'll have to do this from underneath after you've installed the engine. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but for the most part, it's not that bad. Okay. And it also helps performance. Got to get the engine tuned for these things. You can't just put them on there and expect it to run correctly. It's not going to. Okay. Back to tools. So on the side here, we have a very useful tool for anything that deals with anything when it comes to measurements or anything like that. What I like right here, what we have here is just your standard set of calipers, or micrometer as some people call them. There's different names for them, but it measures. You can go millimeters, inches. This is what I used to actually measure the bore because I actually got scared because I saw flat top pistons and thought that we had a 4.8. After doing my research, which I'm going to show you in this book, I found out that the bore is supposed to be a 3.78 inches. So, and that's exactly what it measured out to be for the cylinder bore, which told me that it is a 5.3. It is a 5.3, and it does have flat top pistons, which kind of unheard of according to LS1 Tech, which they said is like a rare unicorn, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. We'll go worry about that later on another day. Either way, very useful tool whenever building an engine or basically really doing anything with engines because you have to have exact size. If you don't, it will literally shit the bed going down the road. Not good. Okay. $30 for that. Super cheap. Harbor Freight. Once again, comes with a spare battery as well. Battery's all installed. Everything's pretty much calibrated. I don't know about the depth. The depth gauge might not work on it. So, simple enough. Simple to understand. Again, Harbor Freight, 8-inch tool, 20-something bucks. Okay. Now, here goes another big and key element to putting it in there. Okay. So, here's a company named ICT. These are billet adjustable engine plates, adapter plates. This allows you to put your factory clamshell engine mounts that are on your whatever engine's in your truck right now. Okay, you can bolt them up right to this, and it pretty much fits right in there. Okay, and it also allows you to move them a little bit back and forth. There's different holes in case you want to move it back an inch or forward. All new hardware you need, everything you need right here. This right here was $20, $20. Okay, so it's super cheap, and it's idiot proof. Okay, it has a P right here on the side for passenger and a D on the other side for driver. Can't screw it up. Super cheap. Now the other part I have not ordered yet, but I will. The other part for a dish flywheel, which I have, or flywheel, or I'm just gonna call it flywheel. Screw it. It's not a flywheel, but you guys know what I'm talking about for automatic transmissions. Hey, buddy. All you have to do is you're going to have to waller out the holes a little bit because they don't exactly fit exactly to your factory transmission. I have to crawl up underneath my truck before I order this piece to see if I have a 700 R4 or a 4L60. Hush. Okay. And on top of that, I have to see if I have a 4L60 or a 700 R4. From that, that's where I go from there. And it's a little adapter piece that you just smack into the back of the crankshaft, and it will go, bolts right up pretty much. You can use your factory transmission. You'll use all your bolts except for one. Again, that's like a 60 to, it's like, I think it's a 30, actually no, it's a $17 billet piece. They make it, same company, ICT, super cheap. So that pretty much gets you bolted up for the transmission and sitting down in the engine bay. The rest is from there. This covers the exhaust, that's taken care of. So pretty much you have your exhaust, everything's sitting in there. Now, this right here, made myself, super easy, LSX handbook. Okay, I'm gonna open it up. Pretty much I've listed every, closer for that, I've pretty much listed every part and piece I need, never mind the blue. One of my co-workers was kind of being stupid and wrote Turbo eBay, but everything in there is pretty much what I'm going to need, and the cost is right next to it. And pretty much the only two most expensive costs are going to be getting the MSD intake and everything right there. All that together is going to cost around $600, $650. I'll save up for that and get it at the end of the year. Not too concerned about it. Okay, and the other part is going to be getting the heads done, and pistons, of course, and machine work. But as I go on, know what you're going to build. Know what you want. Know what you're going to run. Know what you're going with, okay? I already know what I want, what I'm looking at, and how I want it set up. This kind of stuff keeps you on track to what you need and what you're going to do, okay? So it saves you time. It really does. It saves you time. And, you can list what you want, and if you don't like what you see, you can always change it and adjust it as you go, okay? Now, here's another key thing when building engines. You want to have all the specs about your engine. You want to know what gen is my engine, what cubic inch, what is it. And as I said earlier, the bore diameter, if you pull it right here. If you look right here, as I said, the diameter was a 3.780 inch, which is exactly what it measured. And we're good, okay? Now, as I said earlier, these are more things you're going to need. These are just a bunch of facts, everything you need, diameter, size, clearances, everything you need so you know what to order, what pieces you need. This will help you. You can get all this from Summit for free, and you can print it out for free. Okay? All this, again, super free. Now, when it comes to rebuilding the engine, this, again, I got this off Google. This is everything you need to know. Okay? This is all of your torque specs, what to torque the heads to, torque the intake to, torque everything to, and this covers all of your different engines there for all the Gen 3 iron block engines. This lets you know what you need. And the same thing for the back side of this page. Okay, knowing how to redo things. This covers the torque pattern for the heads, what sequencing, how you're going to do this. Okay, and if you go back to the other torque page, it tells you go 3 different times, 3 different torques, and what it is. Okay, right here. Your intake. This tells you the direction, what torque sequence for the intake. Okay, and it helps you out there. And again, here, this lets you know, in case you don't remember, how to find top dead center and where you're looking at. This is what you're looking at when you're your cylinders of your engines. You know where you're at. So this pretty much covers everything, and I'll be adding more and more stuff as I go. But for the most part, this is an easy way. This is an easy way to narrow down things on your build and save time, save money, save effort, and headache. More importantly, headache. It makes this a little bit simple. And yeah, you may have to do some junkyard diving, you may have to go to the junkyard, find some pieces and parts. And like I said earlier, if you don't have bolts to this engine or you don't have brackets or something like that, save so much money. Go to the junkyard. Take those bolts off. Each one of those bolts, okay, one bolt for the bracket, for the coil pack, one of those bolts, okay? As a matter of fact, here, I'll show you. Just stay right there. Alright, so I know you guys might not have seen it. I took the valve covers off, gave them a nice little pretty paint job, painted up all the stuff, cleaned up everything. Okay, so these little bolts right here, that little bolt is $7. $7, brand new from GM. Or you can get all of them that you need, all of them, for free. I'll leave that for you to decide. You can, argue with your code of ethics what you want to do, but a 5-finger discount beats paying $7 for one bolt. And to be honest with you, LKQ is already robbing you. They pay pennies on the like dimes on the dollar for these cars, and then they turn around and sell. They turn around and sell these cars and try to get everything they can out of them for as much as they can. Okay, so the bolts, I don't think they're really going to care. There are bolts all over the ground there, so take what you need. But as always, I made this video short, and I told you I'd keep it simple and try to make it as quick as possible. So, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. If you like what you see, hit the notification bell, and you'll know when I post a new video. I have another one downloading right now, so it might take a little while to see it, but it'll get there. Okay, and as far as commenting, if you have any advice for me, anything that'll help me along the way, feel free to comment, and I am more than happy to read it as long as it's constructive. If it's constructive criticism, I'm down. But like I've always said, if you're being a dick in the comments, I'm not going to read it because honestly, it's a waste of time. I don't care. Too grown for that. So quite honestly, if you got anything, help me out. Let me know if I'm missing out on something, some help me tips. I'm down for it. As always, thank you for giving me your time, and visit back.